So in this video, I'll run an Electron application on a Docker. This is what happens if I run it like from my host. And we'll talk about the parameters later. Basically, if we just do npm start, then it will give a permission denied error because of the sandboxing. So just assume that the parameters do some things. When I run it without the Wayland on my host, everything is fine, but it will not necessarily be like this if we want to use it on another place. What I'm going to do in this video, I'm going to do the same like on a Docker target. So the Docker target looks like this. I used the Docker from the previous video. Okay, I installed on it Node.js and npm. If I do not do install recommend, then it will be like 800 megs or 1 gig or something like that. Otherwise, it will be a little bit different. And here I'll just run bash instead of the other one. Okay. Node.js itself will be something like 100 megs, and if we install that from the scripts like in the official website, then it's more reasonable. But this is how I chose to do it, and let's see what happens when we run it. Okay. So I'm going to run this Docker here. Same techniques as before, okay, and it generates from the same Docker. So I actually also have, let's do it, yes, too. I also have like the test that I showed you previously. But now what I want to do is to actually scaffold, which means to just bootstrap like in a nice and easy way the application. Okay, so for that, I'm going to use something called electronforge. And basically, even if I just go ahead and ask like now ChatGPT, for instance, you say, hey, this is like how you scaffold like this application, or this is like what we need. So you can also ask it like yourself and you create like the application. Now, the important thing here is that we don't start on a folder without anything. So let's just do, I don't know, elect, cd elect, and then we'll run like the tool. I'll give it -y, so it just so that doesn't ask me if I want to create it or not. And I'll briefly pause it because it will take a little bit of time. The key, I reinstalled like one of the Ubuntu versions a while ago, and I just can use it, unfortunately. So first problem here, yeah, dependencies, git not found. Let's install git. But before that, let's see what is the disk size. So before starting, it would be something like 600 megs. Now it's 7.8. So I'm going to do that. This is more disk size and so on. I could just go ahead and push whatever it is here. So when I thought of doing it, this is exactly what I did. I pushed like the Docker. But I want to see like how to handle some issues. I want to see for myself what issues there are. I mean, I don't really remember that. So yeah. So I set up Git, and let's do this create electron ops. There are other ways to do that as well. Okay. And here we have like npm install safe dev, means the development environment. This is Node.js. If you never used it, that's fine. If you have no idea what Electron is, then it's a way to pack Chromium, a browser, with server-side logic that's built in Node.js. And over there, just to go ahead and get it to like a portable desktop app that is built on a browser. So it finished. And now I can see that it's 1.3. The reason I'm not doing like df is that in Docker it shows like wherever my var docker or whatever this is, so it's not representing it. Okay, so look how heavy it is before we even started. So let's say I want to go ahead and start it, and the source code, it usually what you have is so we have some CSS here. It doesn't do anything. We're going to have some HTML file we want to display probably. here, many times we just put some JavaScript and maybe do some injections there from our main logic, but we did not do that. And we'll have like index.js. This is actually like the main file here. So it tells me, hey, this is like the windows, and this is what we do like for a preloaded support, like for Electron, and this is like the HTML folder that we want to do. We saw the DevTools like when I did it on the host because of this line. Okay, so when it's ready, show it, and it's not like a class about it. So we're all good. The preload itself here doesn't do anything. We could add some things that we want to load before starting the execution. Okay, so this is how it is. And on the application itself, I won't go over all of this, but we have like the package.json. It should have script somewhere. This is the names. We can also make it like ourselves, and it should have a way like to start to actually go ahead and start when I do npm start or to this guy here. Okay, so we have the package JSON, we have the forge config JS here. That this forge just helps us to create like this net to scaffold it like this templates, and we have the package lock JSON where it tells us like the node modules, the versions, and so on. And you can see now why everything is like so huge. Okay, like it's huge. These are like the exact dependencies, but it's just really, really, really huge. This is why even without having anything significant, we just have like over 1 gig here. Okay, so basically, the name of the application is this my app here. We have like the index.js, and we are going to just do npm start. I mean, I suppose somewhere there is like a script that says, hey, no, let's look at it. When it's not with this electronforge, then we have this. Yeah, so I missed it. It should say like because I want to start with npm start. I didn't see, so I didn't put UVI. Never mind. So there should be script. Yeah, so there it is. So start is electronforge start, and so on and so forth. And so it uses under the hood Electron, okay? So it uses Node under the hood, and when we provide some environment variables, like as we did here, like for this stable sandbox, then it allows us to do something. But let's just go ahead and see what happens when we start. So it checks some things, and then it immediately say, hey, no glib, cannot open shared project. So we can do like the asterisk trick, but this is very obvious that it needs GTK. Toolkit. So let's go ahead and I'll do apt cache search. I think it's libgtk 30. This is how they call it. Yeah. Apt-get install libgtk 30. Let's see how big it is. It's 98 megs. That's fine. Let's see what happens without the install recommends. Although, as I mentioned before, it is a good. It doesn't even matter. 10 megs less. It doesn't even matter if you do it with or without that. Okay. And we can later also, if we complain on other things, we can do like the apt file trick that the previous time was 50 megs for 32 megs for installing apt file. And the other thing there was about 100 megs for apt file caches. So I think I said before or that I would pause it, but the shortcut don't work unfortunately. So yeah, whatever. All right, forget about you can ignore the errors now here. So you can go ahead and do like npm start, and now it starts complaining about these guys like libnss 3, so we don't have this, we don't have that. Okay, so this is a quite annoying. Now there is something that if you just build things like a regular way, you like with Electron, you have other ways to package, and when you package, you actually also have like a binary that you create that has like the name of your app, and we can do it here as well. but I'm just using like the very getting started, just using npm start and not doing anything like for development mode. So when you do that, you can actually do LDD to the files and figure out everything that is missing. But this is when you're like a great, Linux professional and know what to do. And now we're talking about potentially other great professionals that are web developers, and they will also know like what to do. But getting the dependencies can be like quite annoying. So we can, for example, go here and like try and do like these app cache searches. But I think that I will not app cache search with libnss. Yeah, so it's just this, install libnss 3. So it's 5 megs, I'll just install it. Okay, and then I'll start again. And then it will complain on libasound. So libasound is a little bit tricky because when you need when you need some of these packages, then it could go ahead and ask you to install like a lot of like graphical tools that you don't even need. So let's see. Let's do app cache search. I don't think it appears. It's in one of like. Oh, so it does. So we'll just go ahead and install libasound 2 T64. It's small, so I'll install it, and we'll start again. So now we're getting some, we're running as root without dash dash sandbox is not supported, which it's always like this when you run something as root. So I'll use the same environment variable that I did before. I'll disable the sandbox. Here actually it doesn't matter. On the other way, on the other terminal, like on my host, I was a user, but the sandbox has other issues and just gives permission or doesn't say things so specifically. But if I disable the sandbox, since I already know how to do this, it should work well. But look what it says. It says missing X server or display. And so we should, it by default thinks that it needs to use the Ozone platform, okay? Which is a mistake. So let's see what is the parameter here. I'll give it this. And it is supposed, but I mean, it's supposed to know it automatically, but maybe it doesn't. It's supposed to, the auto should work, but it thinks it's on X11 anyway, okay? So just give it Wayland, and now we should be fine. So we got the same thing, excellent. But here we get a TOEFL, like we didn't get like the nice heart as we did before, okay? So what's the deal with it? I'm not sure. Why is it flickering? I don't know, it flickered also. And the other thing, on the full screen doesn't flicker, which is nice. So in order to solve to solve the TOEFL, long story short, what we need to have is some font package. And for this, I will install a font packages. It's like 10 megs. And now that I will run it, I will see like the art, and then we're done. So you can, follow on tons of other things. It can be very annoying, but this is more or less like a way to run it. And now that I've done it like on the x86, then I can do it on other places as well. So in this video, like I showed like how to bootstrap an Electron app like in an easy way, and some of the annoying challenges that you will see when you run into it. So that's it. And I really need to fix the hotkeys here, but I have no idea why they don't work. C'est la vie. All right, thanks.